Hello, 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 and today we're talking about the KegLand Heat Wrap 30 watts. Is it any better than a standard heat belt? We'll find out. So, this was delivered to me yesterday while I was at work. I had a beer kit and some other tools as well, and I've not actually opened this yet, but I thought it'd be interesting to do it over camera. The whole point of this is the fact that I've been using for probably the last year the standard heat belts that you get, which you wrap around. I can't remember if this is a 20, 25 or 30 watt, and I've not actually tested it, not really bothered. And while I find this works, the problem I've had is that sometimes when it gets a bit cold, obviously I bring my shed, that I have to have two of these on. That's fine, but I've now created myself another installation chamber, so I can do two brews. The problem is I've only got two belts, so I needed to buy two more belts. And at 25 odd pounds each, I didn't want to spend £50 to enable it. So I thought, why not give the KegLand Heat Wrap a try, because it's a lot bigger. While it's still only 30 watts, and I'm using potentially 60 watts, we're using two of them, I don't know if this will be any better. But I thought I'd give it a try, why not? So, let's have a look. Now, the whole point of this is that rather than these being like in a spot, so let's have a look. Standard bucket. Ignore the plug. I've ripped off the 3-pin plug and put a waterproof special plug which I've used for my brewing. So obviously you put these around like that, and then you tighten this up, and then you've got to do it again because it always falls off for me. And after a while it gets a bit, not great. And that's pretty much it. The problem is that a lot of the heat dissipates from the outside rather than going on the inside, and it's also centralizing. Now if you're doing certain brews and you want it to be less heat, well, you raise it up. You want more heat, you can put it down. And they're fine, but just like there, it slips after a while. Now KegLand is supposed to have got away from that from putting a Velcro strap on there. So, let's find out. Well, admittedly I thought it was going to be more of a soft plastic, but this is quite a rigid plastic. Plugged in the middle. Say suitable for the Firmzilla range of kegmenters. Do not submerge in water, do not overwrap itself, do not use on rough abrasive sharp surfaces, and just general bits and pieces of information which we don't care about. Now what's cool with this is, say it comes with a strap and a Velcro, so the whole idea is, it's a lot more rigid than I thought. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. Is you then wrap that around. Ooh, that's a perfect fit. Oh, and then oh yeah, I like that. You can tighten that up, and there you go. It's got a double strap. I think that's probably the better way to do it. Now the only downside is because obviously my bucket, I'd imagine most buckets are slightly slanted, so you can see it's over here, or under here, but over there. So that might mean you have to raise it up a little bit. Let's put it through the strap properly, the way you're supposed to do it. Yeah, a little bit awkward to try and get that on, but that's fine. There are, though, that I can see, because it's not as supple as I thought it would be, there are some air gaps, bits of like folding, where it's just kinked over the plastic, and that means an air gap. So it's not going to be putting the heat into the container, it's going to be heating the air around the container, so you're going to lose some heat. Now that could be like brand new shoes, obviously really stiff in the beginning because you're not using them, and it might be that after using this and unwrapping it and wrapping it, it's going to make it a little bit more supple. I don't know, but yeah, it looks all right. You've certainly got plenty of cable or wire to get to your plug, wherever that being. Yeah, quite a bit of cable. So I quite like that. What we're going to do now then is we're going to fill this with 25 litres of water, put a lid on it to help insulate it a little bit, and then I'm going to switch this on, put a data log on then and see how quickly it can get it to temperature. Once I've done that test, I'll probably put a KegLand wash through and then try and see what it's like. Outside temperature at the moment is around about the 8 degrees during the day, lower at night time, and like I say, I'll be brewing in a metal shed, so this will be really testing it out and we'll see how it goes. Right, see you in a minute. So it's been a month now and I've done 3 washes through this, and I've done quite a long testing of water. Now for brewing, I keep my washes generally at 28 degrees. I've not done any beers or anything like that through this yet, but it kept it at 28 degrees perfectly and absolutely spot on, very impressed. When I did water tests, I put this on a 30-litre bucket, filled it with 25 litres of water. Now my house is a bit cold. We generally don't have the heating on all the time. And the average temperature I think is around about 17 to 20 degrees Celsius. And they managed to get it to 24 degrees Celsius and keep it around that level. And obviously that fluctuated as the air temperature in my room did. So not as warm as you'd necessarily, I would have hoped to have got from it. But that's certainly within good range for keeping something warm. Now when I put this though in my insulation fridge, it managed to get to 45.8 degrees Celsius, and that is obviously incredible. You'd never need to brew at that temperature, and that whole point was you were not getting cold air being kept around it, because obviously this itself isn't insulated. Now if you're putting this into putting a heat wrap, this is the heat wrap, putting insulation layer around it, then obviously you could get a lot hotter, higher temperatures if you're brewing from your shed, garage or back bedroom which you haven't got heating in. So realistically, I think this is well worth it. I've bought a second one and I'm no longer going to be using the old original rubber heat belts, because this just gives a more, say, not centralised, but more varied heat around the hole, so you're not getting any heat spots like you do on a heat belt that you've got to move up or down or keep it low as much as you can. So really impressed. KegLand, you've done a great job. Wish that you'd made these many years ago, and because, yeah, it's brilliant. Really like it. So hope you found this informational, and see you next time. Bye.